that everybody knows. Cause I'm a certified G, so I don't need no ID. How you do? Hey Philly, you're supposed to say you're doing terrible, you know why? Cause you're in Philadelphia. Hey, you know what? Hey, you know what you people out here in Philadelphia have in common with the Samoans? You're fat too. That's right. If I had a dime for every time I saw a dime in this crowd, I would have 0 dimes.
Oh, yeah. 0 dimes. Welcome to the other side of everything else. Keeping it real on this one. That's what I'm talking about right there. Might remember to him. He's Enzo in the WWE a couple of years ago. Got some trouble, got let go. Been back on the scene, been in New Japan and stuff. And he's showed up in the MLW. It's Major League Wrestling. I'm going to get some more on them probably next week. But I like the guy. He's entertaining. He's funny. He's got 0 dimes. But this week we're concentrating on Monsters of Rock Part 1. Because this is, we're on the eve of the selling. They sell out Saturday, the 29th, I believe it is. Be back in May, May 4th or something like that. May the 4th be with you. So Monsters of Rock, going to concentrate on that a little bit. Let's see, I've actually, well, right now I'd be saying, hey, better late than never, or, better late than pregnant. But it's kind of like season 3. Season 1, I started like around end of November or so there, and I went to the end of the year, and then I took like that week off, and then I come back, and I went now and done like, I don't know, 16, 17 episodes, and so now I kind of redid the studio up, hung up some more shirts. Got Crazy Licks over here. You got the great RJD, Ronnie James Dio, some Black Sabbath, Y&T. Still got Winery Dogs. Got some one of the original Rocklahoma shirts back there. And so kind of redid things there. You got like some Thunder down here. Thunder. Some Rock and Roll Over, some Paul Rogers and Van Halen, Sweet FA. Got some Lord Tracy over here, some Bone Pony. But so that's where we are there. So it's kind of the start of a new season, season 3, if you will. If you even care about that kind of thing, it's hard to do that whenever you're not really taking breaks. But I'm going to start trying to put the show out on Thursdays, Fridays. That way you can watch it just before the weekend, or you can watch it on the weekend. And plus, it gives me a little more time because it's taking more and more time to get things together, especially when I got things I got to do outside. A lot of things going on. Summer coming, warmer weather's here. And of course, being in Indiana, it's winter one day, spring in the morning, winter again that night. Then we're back to summer. So it's just all over the place right now. That's the way it is here. We're in the wet season. But let's jump into some news first, because I guess the big news is Joe Biden. He's finally made the official announcement. Scary music and all.
Freedom.
Freedom!
Personal freedom is fundamental to who we are as Americans.
There's nothing more important, nothing more sacred.
That's been the work of my first term, to fight for our democracy.
This shouldn't be a red or blue issue.
To protect our rights, to make sure that everyone in this country is treated equally.
I'm just going to stop right there. You get the gist of it. He's running, and instead of doing a press conference where he might have to answer questions, like maybe about the economy, maybe about the leaked documents, the guy that leaked about, when I've been totally honest about Ukraine, evidently. We do have some troops on the ground, it sounds like. But so instead of doing that, he's released a video. No surprise, he did the first campaign from a basement. He thinks his family's untouchable. I mean, Hunter's living at the White House now just so he don't have to be served papers for court for this woman. I mean, she's a stripper, but hell, he's a crack addict, so I don't know why that makes her worse than him. But he's got a love child, if that's what you want to call it, and she's going for support, and the judge is saying he's got to show up in court, and he's at the White House because who wants to serve papers to the White House? And it's just crazy. And then one thing Joe does on his videos, he talks about maybe it was a press conference, and he talks about it's all America's children, where we all got to chip in with it, and then he don't even acknowledge his own grandchild. He don't slap his son in the back of the head and say, "Stop being an idiot. Take responsibility." That's what would get you to vote for him, in my opinion. But anyway, here at the staff here at the other side of everything else, like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what's going on, whether it's on Spotify, Google, but I put it on Facebook, I put it on YouTube, I put it on Rumble, on True Social. So I make sure it gets put everywhere in one form or another, Twitter. So, plenty of, it's all kind of spread out. So I really don't know what my numbers are, because I get like 40 views on YouTube. I'll get like, another 40 or 50 on Rumble. I'll get, people on Facebook, I like it. People don't seem to hit like on YouTube or anything. Maybe they don't like it. I don't know. No matter. I don't do this for you. This is for me, believe it or not. A lot cheaper. Anyway. We found, since he did do it on video, we're like, well, I bet they had to have all kinds of different outtakes or whatever. And we found an outtake from the Joe Biden stuff they didn't use. And
Formal. I'm going to call you George.
Okay, and you can call me Mr. Headroom.
I think he thinks he's talking to George
No
Bush.
problems there. Are we happy?
I'm delirious.
Attaboy.
Static.
No, actually, George, I don't want to be unfair. I'm just lovable old Mac. To everyone else, so what makes you different from others?
What say you?
Yep, he's wearing his shades, you notice that. He's got his shades on. He's just old lovable Max. Little lovable Joe running for president. And I'll be honest with you, I do like the Trump. I was making money on my 401k. Gas was cheap. People were working. It seemed like it was good, other than people divided on their politics because they didn't like his tweets or whatever. And I really don't want the rematch, and I really don't want either one of them. So I'm keeping an open mind. I'll do it like the last time. If Joe's running, tell me why I should vote for him, other than you don't like Trump. Because last time I'd ask that, and the only thing I could get was, you're a racist, you should die, or I would get I just don't like Trump. Look at the politics, people. Look at what he's done. Look at what's been going on. I mean, he's got in there, we're not energy efficient no more, or dependent. We're not energy dependent anymore. We're begging these other countries, our enemies, for what we need. And if you're kidding yourself, you think he's saving the environment by going to electric vehicles, because you still got to attack the environment, if that's the right word, to make the lithium batteries. You need it for tires, whatever. I'm putting a metal roof on my garage now, and the reason I went metal is because usually that'd be like twice as much, but it was only like $100 difference, because the stuff that goes into making shingles, it go, back to the oil. But I don't know. Anyway, that's a little rant there. Anyway, what's been going on with me is, I mentioned I had jury duty. Actually, it's jury selection. I didn't get picked. I'm always the bridesmaid, never the bride. So I spent all day, 9 hours, sitting in a courtroom. And first of all, when I was going to the courtroom, I started having these flashbacks. I'm like, I get these images of what it's going to be like. And so here's what's going through my head before I'm entering the courtroom.
Then the prosecuting attorney
Boys
started
are in a
prosecuting
lot of
on
trouble.
me. That dude gave me the first, second, and third degree. He said, where were you on the night of July 29th? I said, man, I was home in bed. He said, Judge, that man's lying. I said, wait a minute, man, I was framed, man. Hey, Judge, listen to me, man. Really, gonna believe me? I've been framed, man. I never do nothing wrong. Oh, but every time I get the blame. Oh, I was framed.
Anyway, that's what was going through my head as I was entering. It actually ended up being more like this.
Come on, bucket this morning.
Yeah, you're just sitting around in a big old room with a lot of people you don't know. And that's pretty much the way I went. I didn't get picked, so not my case. I don't get to judge you today, but I will judge you tomorrow, by golly. Anyway, always ready to do my duty. Duty. How many times can you say duty? Okay, here we are. Monsters of Rock episode, though. We're going to just jump right on in because there's a lot to cover. And plenty of stories. Let me just give you a little video that somebody put together here. Give you just a quick idea. Oh, yeah, that's a little quick look at Monsters of Rock. It was from 2021, just before, I guess it was just before the pandemic stuff hit. And so we are on the cruise having a hell of a good time. Got off, and all of a sudden we find out the world stopped. Oh, but it didn't stop us. Actually, I've been on all of the Monsters of Rock cruises, so I didn't make the 2012. That was the very first one. I went on 2013 by myself. Well, it's a guy I met at Rocklahoma. He lives in Arizona. I was in Indiana. I think I've told this story where we met in Florida, got on the cruise, but most of the time he was doing his thing. I was doing my thing. We was meeting at different shows, and, eating in the mornings, whatever. And it was just a great time. It was, don't be scared to do it by yourself. That's what I'm saying. I mean, plenty of people there you become friends with, and I made friends with all kinds of people that I'm still friends with. And, the next year my buddy Joe went, and then I got, my wife, girlfriend at the time, and she's been with me ever since. And buddy Dave went, and last time other buddy Dave and his wife Sharon went and stuff. I mean, so I brought different people. Guy from Arizona, he's brought a few different people. And, I mean, it's just an experience like no other. I mean, it's not your relaxing cruise. You can do the relaxing, as you can see. You can get in the hot tub and all that. I watched Europe play the final countdown. I was sitting in the hot tub. That's, how many people can say that? Probably about 12. I think there's about 12 people in hot tubs at the time watching. And, I mean, first cruise I was on, like I said, you saw, that wasn't me in the video. I stole somebody else's video. But, I did meet Jeff Keith on the first cruise I went on. It's told that story before too. I'm walking from show to show trying to hurry, and all of a sudden I see Jeff Keith, and he's with like his 2 bodyguards or whatever, and you can tell he's a little drunk, a little high maybe. I don't know. I don't want to judge or make a judgment call, but because I'm not on the jury, I didn't get picked. But anyway, he's I was like, Jeff, great show, and he's waving all there, and the next thing I know, somebody grabs my arm, turns me around, and it's Jeff Keith from Tesla. There he is. So, you loved the show? Yeah, I loved it, man. He goes, yeah, we added a few new songs, and I thought, oh, you did great. You guys can't go wrong. You got all your stuff's great and all that. And I see the other guys up there looking for him, and I see him coming. He's like, hey, well, here comes my ride. I better go. All right, see you around. Then one year, me and Joe's getting off the ship, or the last one's getting off. And there's Jeff moving luggage up a little bit at a time. He's got his mom with him and stuff. And I was right next to his mom on that very first show, the Silhouette show. He's pointing at his mom, and I'm looking around, and she's like right next to me and stuff. Met all the guys from Tesla. I mean, kind of story about that. Steve Whiteman. I mean, I've talked to him so much. He always looks at me every year like he knows me, but he can't remember exactly how he knows me. Kind of look and stuff. I mean, I became good friends with his Y&T's bass player at the time, Brad Lang, and he's on my Facebook, and I've talked to him several times and stuff. He plays with Bullet Boys now, or he was the last time I checked. So, I mean, it's just so many stories I could get into. But I'm going to jump into a bunch of video, and I didn't look up my video because I've switched computers, I've switched phones, and it's in the cloud somewhere, and I just hadn't had time. But I've grabbed videos that pretty much look like the same videos that I took, because everybody's taking the same videos. By the way, if you're taking videos at a concert and stuff, you don't need to hold the phone way up over your head. And if you got an eye line and you can see, you can just hold your phone like right there in front of you. Just hold it like right there in front of you. You can watch the show, you're videotaping what you're seeing, and you don't have to put it in front of anybody else. That's just a little etiquette, a little lesson. You're welcome. Well, let me show you this. I think I showed you this before. I hung this book on the door, and then it's one of the original Rocklahoma books in 2007, and it's hanging there, and then I notice it says open to the Skid Row page, and somebody had written in it. I'm probably looking at it like, well, that's Scotty Hill. Wait a minute, that's Rachel Boland. That's original members of Skid Row or whatever. They were in the room across from us, and they start talking to us, talking about how they signed it, and they loved our door where I had that, and a bunch of old concert tickets hanging up and stuff. And Doro, she's been just right by us too. I've run into her in the hallway. We've got pictures with her before. Just all kinds of stuff. We've met. I know what John Buddy Joe mentioned him. He hung out with the guys from Hardcore Superstar. That's who was singing that song on that first video. And let's take a look at this year's lineup before I jump into anything else here. Here's what's going on for this year. Like I said, they're going out on the 29th. Going to be back May 4th. Leaving out. It's a different port. I haven't left out of this port before, so I'm disappointed that I'm missing that port. Never did make it to Puerto Plata. That's where we supposed to have went the year it got canceled because of COVID. Been to Lobby D, and normally I would probably wouldn't even get off there. I mean, it's pretty ocean and all that stuff, and I believe that's where I watched a Van Halen tribute band on the beach, which was really cool and all that. But in Extreme, Betancourt got up and jammed with them, and so I mean. But Eclipse is going to be on the island this time, so I'd get up and watch Eclipse definitely, because that's a must-see band. Of course, you got Tesla there, always a good show. Autograph does good. I'm not familiar with Burning Witches. Ches Kane I've read about. DAD's good. It's Disney After Dark. Love that name. Got some good songs. Dirty Looks I've never seen. So I'd go for the bands that I probably haven't seen. I'd be going for the ones that I don't know much about, and that I haven't seen. Extreme I've seen a bunch of times, but I love all the songs that's coming out right now. There's like 3 of them I've heard. They got an album coming out in June. I'd probably go see them. They're incredible anyway. Faster Pussycat, if you really want to party, that's the party band. Great White, become friends with Mark Kendall on Twitter, and I met him the first cruise I was on and stuff, and extremely nice guy. Like him a lot. And he's an underrated guitar. He's a hell of a guitarist. Hardcore Superstar, that was a song You Can't Kill My Rock and Roll is playing. Joe Hoekstra, I've got a video of him on here. He does a thing called Bloody Hangover or something like that. He does it in the mornings. It's fun. Met the guy from the singer for Junkyard one year. He's on his way to karaoke. He's on our way down. He was extremely nice. Like I said, Kicks. One of those must-see bands. Even though I'd seen them a dozen times, I'd have to see them because they're just one of the best live bands you see. Lee Aaron, I'd have to see. I've seen her. She's big in Canada. Lily I've seen. Loudness. I don't even know if they're making on this one because there's an updated final. Final draft of the bands and stuff too, where things has got moved around, times and all that, and that's what it boils down to. I come up with a plan, and then when you get on there, then you kind of go with it. If you're liking the show and you want to go ahead and stay, you miss somebody you've seen, or you might miss out on somebody, or it might be crowded, you don't get where you want. I mean, but about everywhere you go, you can find somewhere that's a good spot. So, but anyway, you can see all the bands on there. There's plenty of great bands to see. So we're going to jump in. We're going to jump in with Vane first, and they're telling a story because a lot of them, they tell some great stories on here. Saw Frank Hannon. He was jamming with the Nelson twins. Ricky Nelson's boys and the band Nelson. They were doing an acoustic show, and they's up there telling great stories. I mean, if you don't like Nelson or whatever for whatever reason, you'd have to love the stories. They had great stories. It seemed like you get more personal stories, or you get like Kicks, like Steve Whiteman. He'd always have some kind of funny story that led into an introduction to a song or whatever. But he tells a different one almost every time, and I'd always use that. That'd be my end to talk to him. I'd bring something up and stuff. But anyway, if you're going, I hope you have a great time. I know there's a lot of flight delays going on around Dallas, Texas right now. That's what I've been reading. So hopefully you get there, get on the ship, and all's good, all goes well. And if you get on the ship, you're going to have a good time. If you don't have a good time, I don't think anybody to blame but yourself. But anyway, I'm going to kind of rapid fire through these videos and hit some different bands and different songs, different years. And we're going to start out with Vane telling a good story that I loved.
Well, when the whole Seattle thing hit, it was quite a drag on us all, because all of a sudden, everybody wanted to hear the grunge stuff, and which is cool, whatever, it just sounded like rock and roll to me. I would have been a little less offended if it was just two guys and a keyboard going, we like mottos, or something, but it was the same thing. I knew the dudes, they were high fucking chicks, just, doing the same fucking thing, but wore a different shirt, and singing about, different shit gardens instead of LA, which is fine, it was all good, it's all rock. But anyway, at the time I was doing this project, we were with Steven Adler, and we had a few big record companies and stuff checking it out, and one of the people that were checking it out was Gene Simmons from Kiss, but he was just listening to recordings and stuff, so I didn't know anything about it. And it's right when all the stuff was hitting the fan, One day I got a call and I answered the phone, like, hey, what's up? That's all. Hi, Davey. This is Gene Simmons from Kiss. It's like, yeah, who is it, man? Thinking, who do I know with a low voice? Like, no, this isn't Kiss. This is whatever, man. Davey, it's me. It's Gene Simmons from Kiss. I have my new label. I was checking your stuff out. I go, who the fuck is this? Come on, stop fucking. And he goes, I swear to God, he just paused and he went, Davey, listen carefully. It's Gene Simmons. You know my voice. You've been listening to me your whole life. I'm one of your idols. And then it hit me, because I was a kid listening to Kiss, and I go, it is fucking Gene Simmons of Kiss. And he's fucking calling me. So I'm like, what's up, man? What's going on? I'm telling you, he was already on this tip in '93 that we're all fucked. Rock is fucked up right now. I was gonna check your band out, but you guys look too fit and you don't wear like your grandfather's sweater and shit. And he's like, you can't look like you had sex if you want to make it right now. You gotta look like you were just a fucking high school loser. Like, well, I didn't fuck that many chicks in high school until I got in a band. He goes, yeah, but you look like you do now. That's the problem. People know who you are. He goes, listen, you're not the only one. I'm screwed too. We're all fucked. And I'm just like, this is fucking true. All of a sudden the phone cuts off, right? I'm like, hello, hello. I'm like, shit. So I call my manager really quick and I go, you're not gonna fucking believe it. The God of Thunder just called me to tell me rock and roll was dead. She goes, are you sure it was him and it's not a prank? I go, I know in my soul it's fucking him. And all of a sudden I hear the call waiting. I go, fuck, hang up. It's him again. Davey, it's me again. My limo went under a bridge. Swear to God. I go, at least you have a limo too. And he goes, that's fucking right, Davey. But I'm really worried. We're all fucked, and you know in your heart I'm telling the truth. My advice to you is to gain some weight and look like a different person. And he goes, I think you have ripped abs. That's not gonna make it right now. So at the end of the whole, this went on for quite a long time, and we only have so long of a set. But anyway, at the very end of the conversation, he said the greatest thing that was so funny. He goes, the bottom line is what I'm saying, Davey, is that right now, nobody wants to see guys running around stage singing about how great their cocks are. And then he paused and he went, ain't it a shame? Anyway, here we go. This is dedicated to Gene Simmons. Do it!
I was hoping on this video that they'd get me because I was like right there, right in front of Frank, practically sitting on the stage. I even helped hold his amp up a few times because the wind was blowing so hard. They didn't get me.
Lost my mind just so I could escape. I still got time, but I know it's too late. I still got friends to tell me I'm okay.
Guest star Gabby, she's back. I first saw her in 2013. She's like 13 years old. Band Nestor. Here she is, Jim with Joel Hoekstra. Hangover show he does. And he does play for Whitesnake. Also plays with friends. What is it? Sorry, I love this song. Got lost. He played with Night Ranger when I first met him. But the voice of the 80s right there. Alice Cooper. Come on, something. Debauchery. Another guy never disappoints. Talk about Extreme, the new album coming out, their own disc cruise coming up. If you haven't seen them, you better see them. If you have seen them, you probably want to see them again, or you can get the funk out. This is from the first year I went, 2013. When I discovered just how good Kix was as a live band. And there you have it, a little preview of some Monsters of Rock, the cruise. Like I said, I've not been on any other music cruises, but I can't imagine them getting better than the Monsters of Rock. It's just done so well. Now, there's some changes they've made through the years. They've gotten bigger, of course. First year I went, wasn't as many bands, and I think they have like 40 bands now, sometimes 50 bands. I mean, there's something going on almost everywhere all the time. Like I said, we started taking vacation after the vacation, taking a few extra days to wind down, going down to Key West or hanging out in Hollywood, Florida or something like that. And so I can't recommend it enough. I'm going to miss it this year. And this is part one. We'll do part two next week, and I'll cover more of the bands that's on the cruise, which a lot of those are on the cruise. And maybe I can figure out how to get in the cloud and find my videos, because I had to switch phones, switch computers, and it's in a Verizon cloud or something like that. But talking about the cruise, another guy that's always a staple, a mainstay, is Eddie Trunk. I've met Eddie Trunk a few times. He's been nice, and he's been not so nice. I mean, he's Eddie. He's sometimes he's kind of arrogant and rubs me the wrong way. But and just about everybody I meet on the cruise is really nice, really accommodating. And when they're not, I try to just take into account that you've been on there a few days or whatever, or you're tired or don't know what's going on. So I try to give benefit of the doubt. Everybody's human, something going on. So I try not to even bother them too much. Most time I don't. I mean, like I remember one time it's in the morning. I'm walking to go eat breakfast, and I see Spike from the Choir Boys over by the bar. He's a drinker, and he's over there with his girlfriend or wife or whatever she is, and I just again, just like I did with Jeff Keith, I just like yell, hey, hey, you guys are great, love your stuff. And he's like, hey, come over here and talk to me. I go there and I start talking to him, and he's like, you want to get a picture? And I'm like, yeah, let me get a picture of you and your girlfriend. And she's like, no, I want to get a picture of you guys together. And so anyway, so you run into little things like that all the time. Great conversation in the elevator with the guys from Killer Dwarfs and a few others. I can say I'm going blank with some names, and I'm crossing my paths here. I know I met the guitarists from Doro in there, originally Warlock, and guys from Thunder. At the rhythm section from Tora, and that gave me the best line is like, yeah, we play bass and drums for Tora. We're the most important part of the band. We're the one that keeps the backbeat going. And I was like, oh, man, that is so true. And then they gave me some CDs. I need to find them of a side project they got called Fever Tree. And now I'm starting to see them on Facebook a lot more, where they're doing more stuff with Fever Tree. So I'm going to try to highlight them one day. And met Joe Hoekstra so many times. I got so many Trans-Siberian Orchestra. That's what I was trying to think a while ago. That's the other band he played with. I get these pics that say Trans-Siberian Orchestra on them because he plays with them too. And he gives me a pick every time because he's usually kind of drunk and he don't remember meeting me. And he meets so many people, I don't expect him to. Great conversations with Michael Sweet. I just can't. So many. Derek St. Holmes is probably one of the nicest guys I met. The guy, he's the original voice for Stranglehold, played with Ted Nugent. I mean, just, and you meet him at shows, with pictures with Winger. We had a Mike Tramp show. Talked to Derek St. Holmes again at a Babylon AD show. Just so many stories I can go with, and maybe I can get it more straight in my head. Maybe we can do some more. But right now, talking about Eddie Trunk, well, you remember that metal show him and Jim Florentine and Don Jameson had, and it's on VH1. And they always talk about doing it again. They never could get the rights to it, but now they do a YouTube show. It's just called That Rocks. Not really checked it all out yet. Just three guys talking about rock. I'm sure they'll get some guests on there.
The Three Stooges are back together.
So there you go, the Three Stooges. Whoop, whoop, ooh, yeah, they're all back together again. So I'm going to look forward to checking that out. So I'm sure it's good. They got a lot more experience under their belt. A little producing on their own. I'm sure Eddie's learned a thing or two. I'm sure the other guys, they've been on Sirius XM. They probably know some things. They've done other shows with other bands. So they all got good stories. They host all these different festivals and cruises. So always going to be something good going on. That's another thing, Eddie Trunk, if you're going on the cruise, he does his show live on the cruise. I think it starts like at 3 p.m., goes to like 6 p.m. So, you can sit in, and it's got like a players club bar or whatever there, and you can, like a pub. You can hang out there, and you can listen to him do the show. And of course, he gets the guests. He's got the guests right there on the cruise, so it's pretty cool. So anyway, I've taken you about as far as I can take you on the Monsters Edition, Part 1. So let's go ahead and jump into our moment of Zen from Joe Biden.
Dick! President? How are you, pal? Thanks for swearing at me. I tell you what, easy to swear at you. We've got news. Rashid Sunak is now the Prime Minister. You're trying your best, but it never feels like enough.
What a stupid son of a bitch.
But guess what? We got a lot to do. You gotta say hi to me. We go back a long way. She was 12, I was 30, but anyway. This woman helped me get an awful lot done. Anyway.
Well, I'm sick and tired of smart guys.
I'm sick and tired of ordinary people being fleeced.
I'm tired of being quiet.
Where I'm sick and tired. I'm just sick and tired. We have this notion that somehow if you're poor, you cannot do it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids. Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
I'm sorry to take so long, guys, but everyone knows I like kids better than people.
I like kids better than people. Everybody knows I like kids better than people.
Look at them.
Now, the very important thing I told my daughter and granddaughters, no serious guys till you're 30.
Okay.
Right?
No what?
No serious guys till you're 30.
I'll keep that in mind. At least.
People are waiting for relief. I got them $1.9 trillion relief so far. They're going to be getting checks in the mail that are consequential this week for childcare. A lot has been happened already, number one. Number two, I'm going to fight like heck. Just remind them, I wrote the bill on the environment. Why would I not be for it?
Guess what? Employers can't find workers.
I said, yeah, pay them more. This is an employees bargaining chip now. What's happening? They're going to have to compete and start paying hard-working people a decent wage. Unchain Wall Street. They're going to put you all back in chains.
Oh, and there he goes. They all fall down. So there we have it. Our moment is in with Joe Biden. So here we go. A lot of Monsters of Rock stuff going on. Like I said, we'll do some more next week because the cruise actually be going on next week. It actually be ending, but if I keep my schedule, maybe I actually find some video from the cruise. People post it. I know last year I had some issues happen here at home, so I had to get the internet package, and I did a lot of live streaming on Facebook. So I don't have a lot of video from last year. My wife probably does, though. Like I said, the only cruise I missed the very first one in 2012. I missed one, can't remember what the year was. I want to say 18 maybe. 17 or 18, it was the Shredders. It's the same year as I did the West Coast. And I missed the West Coast. Wouldn't be able to do that. So I missed 3, so this will be my 4th one I've missed, and that's, like I said, it's been going on since 2012, so it's been going on 11 years. So they've had 11, they've actually had 12. Well, no, they didn't do it 1 year because of the pandemic. So, it's 10, so they've had 11 of them, because like I said, they did 2 that 1 year. So anyway, whatever it is, I've missed very few of them. Got some things in the iron. Got a lot of fires going on. So I gotta maintain them, and so then I'll see how things are going, and maybe in another year or 2, maybe we can throw another cruise back in there, get back in the game. And if the podcast is still going on, then you always got your phone with you, pop it up, video a quick whatever's happening, cruisers, rockers, DJs, whoever. So, I have tons more stories. So maybe I can think of some more of them. But until then, always look on the other side. That could be where everything else is. Like, subscribe, comment. Let me know what's going on. Who's some bands you'd like to see on the Monsters of Rock cruise? I always put a poll up for about a week too on the Spotify. So you get on Spotify, you see the poll. Answer the poll if you can. But like I said, always comment. Like it and subscribe it. Just let me know what's going on. Sometimes I have trouble getting it up on Facebook and True Social and Twitter and stuff because issues. Usually it's just because of YouTube. If I can get the Rumble one working, that's usually no issues there. But until the next time, I guess I'll see you on the other side.